from morning of the 12th day of the 3rd month in the year that our Most High Elohim has created. We welcome each and every one of you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you. This is a live presentation because the time now is 2 minutes past 7 a.m. in the land of Biafra, 2 minutes past the top of the hour, regardless of where you are. And as always, and as usual, as I welcome you, please endeavor to welcome other people as well. Today's session is going to be interactive. It is going to be a question and an answer session. You'll be able to ask your questions and I will be able to deal with it. That is the way we dispense with innuendo, with gossip, and with outright lies. We deal with all of that on this glorious platform, and this day will not be an exception. As always, we are broadcasting on multiple channels, on multiple platforms. We are on YouTube, University of Radio Biafra on YouTube. We are, of course, on IPOB, Community Radio, Radio Biafra app. We are also streaming this content on Twitter, on my official Twitter handle at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I believe I have about 271,000 followers. Not enough, of course, due to the efforts of our enemies to suppress and to try to deny your space, to tell the world what is actually happening in the damnable zoological republic. That notwithstanding, we resolutely, of course, and relentlessly continue to pursue this glorious restoration of Biafra. There is nothing the enemies can do. We are pushing ahead resolutely. And Biafra is very, very imminent. And as always, please tell those who are around you, because we are also on FM. We are on satellite and, of course, on, I think it's TuneIn as well, and all other platforms that you can receive our broadcast and our last transmission on. I welcome you this very morning, and as always, we're going to pray very shortly, and then after that, we're going to open our lines. I will give you the telephone number to call, and then we shall be able to interact. Our interaction today is going to be purely on Signal. Purely on Signal. That is the number that I will give out. It is on Signal. If you call us, we'll be able to take your call. We are not going to take any calls on WhatsApp, not at all. It's going to be on Signal. I will give you a number to call. If you call that very number, you should be able to get us this very morning. But first of all, let us pray. Onye ọbụla na ya na chikere na bụ na ọbara aka gị ka ọnụ. Anyị na-aja gị mma wee na-eto aha nsọ gị mgbe niile n'ime ndụ anyị, agbanyeghị n'ime ọnọdụ nke anyị nwe anyị nọ n'ime ya. Ọ bụ na asụsụ eluigwe, asụsụ ndị mmụọ ozi ji wee na-aja gị mma ka anyị na-akpọkwa ha nsọ gị n'isi ụtụtụ a n'ụwa niile, ehihie abalị. Agbanyeghị ihe niile nke anyị nwe anyị na-agabigazi ebe dị ngọzi, were nye gị otuto n'ụzọ pụrụ iche na asị na enweghị chi ọzọ ewezuga gị, anya anaghị efe arụsị, n'ihi na arụsị bụ ihe ọjọọ, bụ naanị gị bụ onye anyị na-akpọ isi ala nye. Chineke nna nke pụrụ ihe niile, nye ogwere ụmụ gị were eche gị n'iru n'ụbọchị nke taa, tụmadị bụ ndị eji nọ n'ụlọ nga, ndị nọ n'ụlọ iko n'ebe niile dị iche iche, ndị atụrụ enweghị ikpe ọbụla nke ekpere ha. Onye na Chineke na-ebe ka iwe kasị ohu, bịa ka iwe gba ezinụlọ ha ume, bịa ka iwe nye ha nkasi obi nke pụrụ iche, n'ihi na ekpete maazị ahụ niile nke ha onwe ha na-ata nna nke ebere dị ngọzi. Ọbịa ga-emetụta gị n'obi ka Biafra wee bịa. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị nna nke ebere ka iwe chebe ndị dị etu a, tụmadị ndị gabigara ihe ọjọọ niile dị iche iche n'aka ndị iro. Ụmụ nwaanyị anyị ndị nne ka ha ara bụ ndị na-ata ahụhụ n'obodo ekwensu bụzu nna nke ebere na-enyefe n'aka nsọ nke gị, biko ka iwe bịa ka iwe bọrọ ha ọbụ. Anyị niile bụ ndị na-ata ahụhụ nna nke ebere ka iwe bọrọ anyị ọbụ. Ihe ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye nzọpụta, bụ naanị gị bụ Chineke nna nke pụrụ ihe niile. Ọbịa mere ntụkwasị obi anyị niile, olileanya anyị na-ebu n'aka gị ka ọ na eze ebe dị ngọzi, dịka isi wee zọpụta Israel n'aka ndị iro n'obodo ekwensu bụ Ijipt, ka ị ga-esi wee zọpụta ụmụ gị bụ Biafra n'obodo ruru unyi bụ Zoological Republic of Nigeria. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị nna nke ebere dị ngọzi n'ụbọchị nke taa n'ụwa niile, ka iwe echebe ụmụ gị bụ ndị Biafra ebe ha nọ dị iche iche, ka i weleta ezinụlọ gị bụ IPOB nke gị nweji aka gị wee hiwe, ka i wee leta ndị nche bụ State Security Network ezi ebere dị ngọzi, biko n'ihi na ọ bụ site n'aka ndị dị etu a n'ọlụ aka ha nna nke ebere nke gị onwe gị kwadoro n'ime eluigwe ka Biafra ga-eji wee bịa. Ani wene kele wena jenge manase bikonu. Onye nso bi n'igwe. N'otuto ni na sopri ne gadra ha nso gba nworo mbodi na ebe ka na do ise. I know that this very program this morning was not heavily advertised as we normally do, but we are live all the same and direct endeavor to share this across multiple platforms that others may also be able to partake and participate in our program this very day. I am going to open the line. Please get your pen and paper ready because I'm going to give you a telephone number to call. And it's on Signal, please. On Signal. Signal app is what we are using from now on in. The number is +44. It's a UK number, +44 77 61 82 5346. Signal, please. +44 77 61 82 5346. That is the number with which you can get hold of us this morning. If you have any questions to ask, please try and do so. We are going to answer your question. Once again, the number is +44 77 61 825 346. If you call us on that very line, we are going to be able to take your call. It is very, very important that you try and call us this very morning to air your views and opinions and, of course, to ask very serious questions, because before I came on air, I came across a very, of course, distasteful and idiotic publication as usual. And normally I wouldn't respond to idiots, but I want to use this opportunity this very morning to respond to, should I say, to the very foolish publication by Vanguard newspaper. I would have thought that by now they would have learned their lessons, but of course not. It is the Zoological Republic. They are doing all they can to try to suppress this very glorious, noble effort we are making to restore the kingdom of heaven upon the face of this very earth. Because this has been making the rounds, I think, since, yesterday or 2 days ago. A very idiotic and, should I say, I wouldn't call it malicious because it has no significant effect upon what we are doing. A very hopeless attempt by DSS to try to change that which is right into what is wrong. The only reason why I am mentioning this today is because Vanguard newspaper had the temerity to publish it. It is called Change of IPOB's Registration Status. The headline reads, Change of IPOB's Registration Status vindicates our opposition group. And they are telling our people to disassociate themselves from IPOB, which is laughable, of course. These are people working for APC, working for the Zoological Republic, a non-existent group. I don't know how the zoo can take lying and deception to this new inglorious level. A group that doesn't exist. We have searched and searched for those they claim are their spokespersons, and they do not exist. They are called the Coalition of Southeast Professionals Network in Nigeria and Diaspora, a group created by DSS. They sent one idiot to go and do a video full of lies. And somebody even had the audacity to send such nonsense to me. And to my shock, horror, and surprise, even Vanguard newspaper of all people published this junk. Brown envelope journalism taken too far. Very, very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. The idiot did a video. Those of them now recruited and working for MI5 in conjunction with DSS in the zoo. They came out to publish junk, or should I say to announce rubbish, that the status of IPOB was changed in the USA. That is what some idiots, all of these fools fathered by Fulani Janjaweed before, during, or after the war, or maybe their parents. They don't know who we are, that we are whiter than white and whiter than snow. That is why if you are in IPOB and you have any blemish, once you are of a suspicious disposition, the devil will go into you and you will leave IPOB. We don't sack you, you will run away from IPOB. And the one then saw very clean and neat, unblemished, untouchable. They have sought ways to try to diminish what we are doing. They have not succeeded. They have recruited AFP. People, they paid money to AFP through one idiot that calls himself Tijani, that works for APC and Buratai, to be writing junk, and AFP will be publishing such rubbish because they need money. That is what they're using your money to do in the zoo, to try to deceive the world about what is actually happening in the damnable zoological republic. But we are aware of their tricks, and we are doing all we can to counter them at every point. The disappointing thing today is that a whole Vanguard newspaper published such junk, unverified news, brown envelope journalism. That is why Nigerians are blind. That is why the animals in the zoo cannot see properly. That is why their lives are idiotic and useless to the core, because of the brand of journalism that they practice. They think they can deceive people by lying. Here, we expose your lies and we destroy it. All of you working for the zoo, under your new Nigeria, under your constitutional or whatever force measure, that rubbish, it's never ever going to work. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Because the Janjaweed are in control of your lives. You want to bring such nonsense to us? I have a few questions to ask Vanguard newspaper this morning. Because Vanguard newspaper published this junk, and I want to ask them a very simple question. Because it is through cross-examination in a court of law that you determine those who are lying and those who are telling the truth. It is very, very sad indeed that after even all these years of educational enlightenment, black people, especially in the zoo, continue to behave like the wild beasts and animals that they are. Very, very sad indeed. A journalist, you sat down in your office in Lagos, doing nothing. Somebody brought you a piece of junk with perhaps 4,850 naira in a brown envelope. And you published such junk without even the benefit of going to ordinary Google to ask if what they're saying is correct or not. One idiot somewhere very close to a poultry in Suleja did a video and was circulating. Vanguard saw it fit to publish such rubbish through a group called CCPND that doesn't exist. People know that this very group doesn't exist. Yet people are there reading and digesting what is pure rubbish. I don't know what is wrong with black people. I don't know who did this to you. How gossip and rubbish attract your attention so much. Very, very sad indeed. Out of this very junk, because if you write good things about us, we talk about it. You write bad things about us, we also talk about it. To present some semblance of balance, that the world may know who the liars and the deceivers are. Change of IPOB's registration status vindicates our position. I'm going to open the line very, very shortly, please. Do bear with me. I want to deal with this very issue once and for all. A non-existent group. The journalist that wrote this rubbish for Vanguard, his name is Joseph Erunke, whatever garbage that name means. Joseph Erunke. E-R-U-N-K-E. He is writing on behalf of the Coalition of Southeast Professionals Network in Nigeria and Diaspora, a group created by DSS, the Nigeria Secret Police. They don't do anything in their useless lives. It's only to be abducting innocent people. Looking for those that must have said something against their useless, idiotic, Fulani Janjaweed presidency. They cannot stop terrorists. They cannot stop the subversion and sabotage of the zoo economy, which is what they were set up to do. All they do is to be going about arresting innocent people, and they claim their intelligence agency. That's all they do. And at their spare time, All they do is to create and fabricate groups that do not exist. That is why the life of a black person is full of lies and deception. Very, very sad indeed. A group that doesn't exist. Vanguard has not even asked the DSS, please, can you tell us who is in charge of this group? As any sensible, decent journalist will do. They will not do it. It's to sit down in their office, accept a brown envelope and start to publish rubbish. They said they're commending Buhari also on development of the region. I'm sure that some of you must have seen the news about the narrow gauge. Do you know what the narrow gauge red line is? Some of you are celebrating, saying you celebrate Amechi. From Abuja to Lagos, Lagos to Sokoto, they all use broad gauge. Some of you, I don't know the type of school that you went to. It is a thing of shame, to be honest with you. Now, some of you don't even know the difference between a narrow gauge and a broad gauge in railway. Very, very sad indeed. They said they're going to rehabilitate your railway. Rehabilitation, not construct a new broad gauge, but a narrow gauge, the same that Britain used to move our produce to the seaport in Iguacha before shipping it abroad. I do not know what is wrong with some of you. Honestly speaking, I have no idea what is wrong with some of you. But here we are going to educate you until you become enlightened, even if we have to do it by force. This very group that doesn't exist, created by the Nigerian government to attack IPOB and to attack the entire Biafran agenda and, of course, my good self. They said that I changed the status of IPOB in England, that I changed it, and that I put my name and that of my wife on the registration of IPOB in the United Kingdom. Something that is a blatant lie. A blatant lie. Deception. Peddled by idiots working for the zoo, hoping for a new Nigeria. They are working in collaboration with those of them who are deceivers and liars, telling you about a new Nigeria. Through Biafra agitation, you get a new Nigeria. There are mad people everywhere, lunatics everywhere. This maybe. They claim that Kanu changed the documentation of IPOB as a business organization based in London and owned by himself and the wife. Vanguard could not bother to just Google Company's House, United Kingdom. Every business registration in England is registered with Company's House in Cardiff, Wales. Every business registration. A whole Vanguard newspaper could not go to type in to find out if this stupid nonsense from DSS is true or not. They couldn't do it. Because they know we are growing stronger. They know we are waxing all over the world. They know that ESN has come to stay. They know that our people in the diaspora, they are funding ESN. They know, understand it very well. They want to get into your heart. They know as an Igbo man, some of you are very stupid and idiotic. Once you talk about money and business, all your antennas rise up. Without asking them, please, can you show us proof? Where is this registration you are talking about entered into? You claim it's in England. Then show us the proof. Anybody this morning can go to Company's House, UK. Go to Google, type in Company's House, UK. Search for IPOB and search for the directors of all the registered IPOB concern you have. IPOB is a community interest group. It is not a business. Nobody registered anything. Neither myself nor my wife, nobody. Nobody. They said it's on the 16th of January. I challenge anybody to go. Look at how DSS, as stupid as they are, look at how they are lying, like little children. Little Alabajiri children who are full of lies. And they're takia. They think they can deceive people. You don't know I'm alive. You cannot deceive people. You cannot. Mbappe said, you cannot, you see, ordinary rat in the house cannot steal something from somebody who is awake, only if you're sleeping. You bring all this, your stupid, idiotic lies, and you want people to believe you. A group that doesn't exist. Nobody has ever asked the question, who is the leader of the, why don't they grant live interview? I am live and direct and the whole world is listening. A fake group. designed by DSS and given to some of you claiming you're fighting for Biafra, some of you being deceived by MI5, some of you idiots that have only power and glory and money making at heart. You are not freedom fighters and can never be. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Because as a freedom fighter, you are called to serve your people. You don't arrogate that very position to yourself. All of you using Biafra to be working for MI5, using Biafra to be working for the zoo, all of you will be disgraced comprehensively and totally. I'm telling you, and you will all die a very shameful and miserable death. All of you peddling this junk, that some of you are even so idiotic, one fool actually sent it to me. Is it true? Can't you go to Google and Google UK company's house and go to IPOB and see those who are registered there or not? And see if the name of my wife is there or not. That is why Africa is backwards. People don't even do common research. Common research to go and find out if an allegation is true or false. Common allegation is just to be peddling it because you're very lazy mentally and physically. That's why you're poor and wretched. That's why Africa is backwards, and that's what we are fighting very, very hard to reverse. They claim that Kanu changed the documentation so that when Biafrans will hear it all over, hey, Chimo, he changed it. Unanuka, have you heard it? I will no longer contribute. All they're trying to do is to stop the funding of ESN. That's what they're looking for. If you don't, let me tell you. They know that some of you are very stupid and hopeless. Once you listen to gossip, your life, your brain will enter into overdrive. They know how to get you. Look at how Fulani Janjaweed are playing with your brain cells. So you will stop funding IPOB. The idiot that looks like somebody who hasn't been employed since graduation. Or saying, I have now given up. I'm no longer going to do this. I'm now going to work with a group that is working with the Nigerian government. Can you believe such rubbish? And Vanguard newspaper had the temerity to publish such junk. They are part and parcel of the problem in the zoo. The quality, or should I say lack of decent journalists in the zoo is part of the problem bedeviling that damnable zoological republic. No wonder white people see black people as natural liars and deceivers. The whole newspaper publishing not only falsehood from a group that doesn't exist, a group that do not exist. Because they were formed by DSS, given to Vanguard newspaper to publish, and they'll be giving money to them. You give money to a journalist in Nigeria, they'll publish anything for you. But unfortunately for them, they never knew that I'll respond to this. But I will. All they're trying to do is to stop the funding. I maintain that we are whiter than white and whiter than snow. That is why Elohim is with us. That is why anything we say comes to pass. Because God Almighty in heaven can see the hearts of men. Once you are honorable, anything you say will come to pass. That is how you know. By these signs you shall know them. When they say something and it comes to pass, you know that you are on the right path. What is it? There's only one thing that I've said that hasn't happened yet. Of course, it happened somehow last year where we won the full manifestation of it, which is the coming of Biafra, or the declaration of the Biafran Republic. Everything else I've said has come to pass. Hasn't it? Who have I caused that is not dead? I ask you. Apart from the hotelier, I told him that a vulture will eat his flesh. The hotel builder, you vultures with that. I'm saying it live on air so you understand me. The day it will happen, I will tell you I told you so. I will make reference to this very broadcast. Vulture will eat the hotelier's body. These idiots in their pipeline security with their BBC will connivance. They think they can come and deceive us again. Of course, they are lying and they are joking. We are doing our freedom fighting in a very special way, not the way that black people normally do it, because you people don't have the liver or the stomach to fight. You're looking for your daily bread. Even when you have a car, you want a bigger car. That is not freedom fighting. Gossiping cannot give you freedom or make you become like us or make you as famous as we are or make you as relevant as we are or make our people to listen to you. They can never listen to you. It's impossible because our people are reasonable enough to understand those who are fighting for them in truth and in every honesty. People ask us our secret and we'll tell them it's only one thing. Biafrans only love one thing in their life, which is the truth. They themselves may not be perfect, but they want to hear the truth from you. Once you tell them the truth and they see that you're consistent, they will follow you. And that is what DSS, by creating this useless group, is trying to should I say, to frustrate. That's what they're trying to do. To make you to go off, to make you to begin to think otherwise, whereas the group doesn't exist. And the news they're peddling is falsehood, blatant falsehood. You have Google on your smartphone, on your iPad, on your computer. Go and Google it and see if my wife's name is on any company in the UK, unless they have registered it on the, and if they do, of course, they will take them to court in the UK. Let them try it now. They understand that very well. Look at how they're playing with your brains, all of you. Very, very sad indeed. So I am placing a warning to the publisher, not to the editor, to the publisher of Vanguard newspaper, that such journalism is responsible for what is happening in the zoo today. They too are complicit, not just Fulani Janjaweedism, but the quality of journalism in Nigeria is lamentable. Very, very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. Reacting to this in a statement, the coalition called on well-meaning Igbo sons and daughters to pull out of the group because they know that we are formidable. They know that IPOB is very strong. They will tell you this, Igbo. They know that IPOB is everywhere. I've been holding meetings with every relevant stakeholder in the southern part of Biafra and in our coastal region. You see the effort they are making with their BBC to narrow our agitation, to make it Igbo. They know that we are everywhere. I keep holding meetings with important people, with youth groups right across the length and breadth of Biafra land, even into the so-called middle belt. They don't know this. They don't know that we are in control. They have no idea. They try to narrow it down to Igbo this, Igbo that. When that fails, they now come up with their lies. Nnamdi Kanu registered something with his wife, which is a lie. Can't you listening to this rubbish, can't you go into Google and Google something and find out? I told them that they will come with every trick in the book. And we are going to defeat all of them. Every trick in the book, they will come with it. We are going to defeat all of them. I'm telling you the truth. People are calling and we must go to them this morning because this was meant to be an interactive session. But I had to deal with the lies and the gossip and maybe they saw the pictures that was released of me. Some of them are even trying to look like me. Some of them are now keeping their beard, the lower beard. They try to maybe dye it a bit of white so it can look like my own. So they can look. People as ugly as Satan himself. They want to appear somehow decent. Because they have seen my photos on social media. They want to look, maybe they think if they look handsome, somehow people will start following them. If you're ugly both inside and out. I am 53 years old, but I'm sure I don't look it. Because Elohim can say that my heart is pure and genuine. Nobody loves their people more than I do. Nobody can love Biafrans, of course, apart from God in heaven. No human being can. No, sacrifice what we have sacrificed to ensure that Biafra land is set free. Nobody can, they cannot do it. If you buy them one Cherokee Jeep 4x4, they capitulate, float one contract, you come and guide the pipeline for me, they start falling over themselves. We are unbuyable, unbribable. I remember many years ago I told Biafrans in the US, you will fund this struggle if you like it or not, you will fund it. You people will pay for it. That is the reason why Elohim sent you to USA. Not to go and better yourselves and your families, but to fund this for this very time that we are in. And as at the time, they have now started to respond. And that is when DSS and some idiots working for the zoo claiming they're fighting for Biafra is now coming out to talk rubbish. Every Sabo will be defeated and disgraced. And finally, you'll be tried and you'll be hanged. There is no escaping from this very fact. It doesn't matter what you do. Even those I don't talk to, those I don't respond to, idiots everywhere talking rubbish. When we've even mentioned their names, they have seen ESN everywhere waxing very strong. They won't talk about it. They saw our sisters who were being raped. We've just released them. For them alone, we paid over 9 million. Nobody will talk about it. Nobody will come to IPOB and say, all this money you are spending to release people from Abuja, where are you getting it from? Nobody will ask that stupid question. Because they are idiots and they are fools. They abduct our people from Obibo, take them to Abuja, secretary them everywhere. We went to the army barracks to go and find them and to release them, take them to court and release them. We have spent over 26 million naira trying to free our people. 26 million. Tell me which other group of people has ever done that before. Both those who are not IPOB, we release everybody because all are Biafrans. You see why Chukwukika Biama love and bless us always. Because our heart is clean. As all those people released from detention, has any of them before been to an IPOB meeting? Most of them, no. They just set them on the streets and they took them. We released them. Paid a whole lot of money to release them. Money that belongs to IPOB family worldwide. Ask the hotelier. They give him money to run Biafra. He will be busy building hotels and hostels. That is why nobody takes him seriously. That is why nobody follows him anymore. That is why he's afraid. He thinks I will go after him. I'm not going to go after you. Elohim will kill you. You will die and vultures will eat your flesh. I can't go after you. Irrelevant. Idiots, I don't even mention their names. They'll be yapping rubbish every blessed day, including the pig in the creek, talking rubbish every blessed day. You have eaten your money and built your schools in Cotonou. So why are you bothered about freedom? You don't know that those that gave you that money, they understand you very well. How many times did they come to me? They offered me Biafra of Igbo territory alone, Southeast, and I said no. Because there are Igbo people everywhere. We are all Igbo people, if you like it or not. At the end of this very day, of course, you come to the very realization that what I'm saying is correct. I said, no, I want the whole of Biafra. They gave me all their money in the world, and I said, no, not once, not twice. I said, no. They ran to my parents to go and bribe my parents, and my parents said, no. All you poverty-stricken idiots that think that by going into freedom fighting somehow you make money, you are mistaken. You are grossly mistaken. You don't know what you're in for, believe you me. We are the children of light. We answer that name for a reason, the children of the Most High. That is who we are. And that is why we are here. Our lines are open now, please. You may call us. If you call us, we will, of course, take your call. And some of you, I may even extend you the courtesy of having to return your calls. Please, one at a time, I beg of you. Some have been calling and calling and calling. Once I accept you, because it is signal, you need to be accepted. Once I accept you, then you can then call. You can call, please. Once I accept you, you can then call. I have a caller on the line, please. Give us your name and where you're calling from, and then ask me a very difficult question, please. Even if it is a rumor or gossip, ask and I will answer you live and direct so that the whole world can hear.
Morning, sir. On the member by Your Excellency, I am Evangelist Susan Akumotuche calling from Biafra land.
Thank you, God.
Protect and keep you.
Yes, sir.
You will lead us to Biafra.
Yes,
please, my simple question is about the fasting and prayer. Some people said it has started.
No, it hasn't. So it has not started yet. Please. When it starts, I will announce it live on air on this glorious platform that God himself has made. I will announce it. We have not started.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I will be in Israel to announce it. And then we will start our fasting and prayers from there. Thank you very, very much. They wanted clarification. I don't know why our people sometimes do not pay attention. They do not listen. I don't understand the reason why. I have another caller on the line. This caller, can you hear me? Give us your name and where you're calling from, please. The caller on the line, can you hear me for the last time? Can you hear me? No. He is listening via his system. Perhaps he is joining us for the very first time and do not understand that once your call is taken, then you begin to speak. That was the reason why I had my secretary try to do not call again. If I accept your call and you do not speak immediately, then I will no longer take your call. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning, my leader from here. My name is Pastor Jack, and I'm calling from Lagos.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. I want to first of all appreciate you for your enormous work, and Chukwu Kerem will continue to keep you until you lead us into Biafra. So my question this morning is, sir, also the Fulani administration in Imo State is becoming, in fact, it's not only becoming, it has become a problem to us. They are profiling our people and abducting our people. Is that not anything we are going to do to actually tell this Janjaweed slave that Imo State is Biafra land and we cannot run away from him, rather he will run away from us? And secondly, I want our people to continue to support ESN to get them more equipped, because
we don't beg anybody to support ESN. If you don't support them, Fulani will take over your land. Why are you begging? Why am I begging anybody to support? Why should we beg anybody to support? Is this some kind of charity that we had? No, don't support ESN now, and Fulani will take over your village. As simple as that. It's not a question of begging, and why should you beg anybody to defend his father's compound? Don't beg anybody, please. Regarding the idiots, the Fulani imposed administrator of Imo State, that very fool, that original 419er, that same person that George Obiozor took to Fulani Janjaweed to make him the governor of Imo State from number 4 to number 1. Very soon he will know that Imo belongs to Biafra, not to him. He will understand that. No, he will understand it very clearly. Now they are abducting. Vanguard won't write about it. Knows you newspaper. BBC cannot go to investigate. No, because they are working for new colonialists. They understand what Biafra portends for the freedom of black people, not just in Africa, but the whole world. They know it. And they are fighting tooth and nail to try to stop this unstoppable movement. Hope Uzodinma will pay very dearly. I am telling them now, they will pretend they've not heard anything. Any day will respond. You see every manner of idiot who rise up to speak. Now they are profiling and abducting people at all the entry points into Owerri. Nobody will say anything. That is the thing about black people, and that is why they are the lowest of the low in the whole world, because of their evil nature. When they see evil happening, they keep quiet. That was how slavery was sustained for centuries, until England, of all people, said no to it by abolishing slavery. In fact, even some black people were upset that slavery was abolished. We have the mentality of such people still with us till this very day. Hope Uzodinma will pay very dearly. I'm saying it live. This time, do not call. Once we call you and you don't pick your call, that is the end of you. That is the end of you. You can no longer call. You can no, I said no WhatsApp call. It's only on Signal. No WhatsApp call, please. Only on Signal. You can only call on Signal. No WhatsApp call, only on Signal. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning, sir. My name is Wisdom, and I am calling from Umuahia.
Wisdom from Umuahia, please go ahead. What is your question?
I just want to thank you for the good work you are doing and what you have been doing for us. May Chukwu Kikabema bless you and continue to bless you.
You say,
what you went to do the time you went to Abuja to negotiate for.
Negotiate for what?
All right. You went to for restructuring so that the seaport will be opened in all these our coastal region. But our brothers, they don't understand this. They are deeply, so even today, they increased the fuel, the price of fuel.
to 212 naira. We are really suffering in this country, and they don't know that we are suffering.
People don't know they are suffering because they prefer to live in denial and stupidity. Sometimes you stop blaming those in Abuja, you stop blaming the Fulani Janjaweed, and we start to blame ourselves. How did we get to this position? That is exactly the reason why I was admonishing Vanguard newspaper and all the journalists in the zoo. They are part and parcel of they do not enlighten and educate the people as to their rights and their privileges. They should be enjoying as citizens of any country, anywhere in the world. They have failed very woefully, and that is why people are suffering. The same fuel that was at 86 naira, and the foreign Janjaweed said Jonathan must go. It is 86 naira, it's too high. I will bring it down to 40 today. As you're saying, it is at 200 something, 212 or thereabout. And then people are walking about as if nothing is wrong. That is the brain of a black person. That's what we're seeking to correct. That is the reason why black people are the lowest of the low. They are poor. They see something and they fail to act upon it immediately. This type of nonsense cannot happen in any white man's country. It's not possible. It can never. People will come out and protest. But in the zoo, they cannot protest. When they come out, the time we join their end side, they said, oh, IPOB has come to hijack. And we said we will not participate in the second one. Look, the second one only lasted for 45 minutes. And they ran them up. Because they don't have the mental toughness needed to propel a mass revolution. Only IPOB can. And they know it. I say it without apologies to them. Only IPOB can effect a revolution. No other group of people can. It's impossible. I'm not boasting that, you know, it's true. Go and try and see. That is why they are making every effort to try to subdue what we are doing by lying to everybody. Barefaced lies. And Vanguard was busy publishing such junk. Unbelievable. This UG. This person called Dan. I am going to block you. I took your call a while ago and you idiotically did not answer. The person on the line, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you are, if you may.
Leader, good morning from here. Good afternoon from here. I'm calling from Malaysia. My name is Okafo Sadeve.
Okafo, go ahead. We are listening. Yeah, what's your question?
Yes, my leader. I want to ask you one simple question. When are we start the killing of all these wicked politicians in Igbo lands? When are we start of killing them? Because once we chase them out, to get Biafra will be very easy for us, them and their family members.
I think that a time and place will be appointed by Elohim, the God Almighty. It is not left to us. I think God is going to judge them. It is not up to me to judge, because I think the good book said you should not judge anyone that ye may not be judged. I am not going to judge any of them. The same thing with terrorists. All we need to do is to present them before God, and then God will judge them. And very soon that is going to happen. God is going to judge them very soon, not us. Our job, as Putin said, is to make sure that we send them into the presence of God. All of them. They have been killing us. They are abducting us. All of them are now pretending, including BBC Igbo. All the Fulefus, all the gangs of criminals, they are pretending they cannot see what Hopus Odema is doing. Everybody's pretending. Or what Wike did. You know, people. They are all pretending. Do you think I'm going to forgive and forget? You must be insane. I can never forgive nor forget. Instead, we all sink. Let them keep abducting. You can see DSS abducting everywhere. The day now we rise up against DSS, people will not start the story from the beginning. They cut it from the middle. Now DSS is everywhere abducting. British government, they have kept quiet. Daily Trust, they cannot report it. Everybody is quiet. Now they are going, the man and the wife was abducted in Calabar. The wife went to work in their shop. Yesterday, she was taken from them. Everybody is quiet. DSS abducting innocent. They cannot abduct bandits. They cannot abduct Boko Haram. They cannot abduct all those sponsoring bandits and Boko Haram in the north of the zoo. It's only in our land that you see DSA director, a Fulani man, one idiot called Haruna in Imo State, abducting people, and all of you are now keeping quiet. Every day we respond now. You see all the idiots, they will rise up. And we are going to respond very soon. Useless zoological republic. You people have not seen madness. You are going to see what is greater, or should I say worse than madness. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. Your name and where you're calling from, if you may.
I am Mazi Moses Teledo. I'm calling from India.
From India, please go ahead. We're listening. The world is listening, of course. Go ahead.
Yes, Mazi, I want to just make a suggestion. This suggestion is all about our brother and our uncle, Agbo Yurosi, who died as a child of circumstances. Because I am aware that he is not involved in the coup, and this is a man who commanded the United Nations Army for good 4 years. The coup plotters did not involve him. The Janjaweed, they planned and they killed him. So I want him to be immortalized. It's my suggestion in the land of Biafra. And secondly, the War Museum that is in Omahia is tagged Nigerian National War Museum. That is Biafra National War Museum, where Ojukwu, everything about Biafra was, stationed. So I want all those places, I want Biafrans to take over that place. Secondly, we are earnestly expecting you in India. Thank you, Mazi. God bless you. God will continue to protect you. No evil plan of the enemy will come close to you until Biafra is restored.
And beyond, he said, thank you very much for that. On the first one about my great uncle, Agironsi, the only battlefield decorated general in the history of Nigeria. He is the only battlefield decorated general. The only man that earned his stripes, his rank in the battlefield. The rest are all quota, including Buratai that just left, that specialized in killing civilians. Ironsi went outside Nigeria to go and fight in the Congo, commanded the UN there admirably, and he was made a general. Not all these paper general. That is one thing they don't like about us. That's one thing. I mean, in Britain, there are good people, but always the evil ones overshadow the good people. As I said, in the men, English people are very, very tolerant, very wonderful people, unbiased. But there are pockets of evil amongst them. Ironsi was decorated in the battlefield of Congo, where he fought. Tell me any Fulani Janjaweed that fought outside Nigeria before. None. It is only by killing civilians. Or during the war, when our hands were tied behind our back, food blockade, air, land, and sea blockade by Britain and Russia. They planned and connived and gave them Egyptian pilots, flying MiG aircraft belonging to Russia. Despite the fact that Nigeria was under arms embargo, they gave weapons to go on to come and fight and kill us. But our uncle made a very big mistake. He's from my clan, from my mother's village. A great man, no doubt, and we shall do the best we can, but he made a very big mistake. He's my uncle, but I will say it. That Victoria is my aunt, the wife. John, we went to the same school together. He was my senior at Government College Omaya. We're very close. The families are very close. The Ironsi family and the Kanu family have been very close for very many years. I love them very dearly, and I'm sure they do towards me. But my uncle made a very big mistake. The mistake he made was to promulgate a decree uniting Nigeria. He should have listened to Nzogwu, what Nzogwu had to say. And I think in 2 days' time, not tomorrow, I think on Sunday night, I will do a program specifically to address the issue of Fulani Janjaweedism, and there I will mention my great uncle, Agironsi, a great man indeed. And we shall see what we can do to immortalize him. To be remembered. The only general you have in Nigeria, the only general, as a general, you have to earn your stripes. Those stars you have to earn them. Not in the office by writing petition and writing quota. It's our turn. They make a general. That is why you've seen them fighting their so-called bandits. They cannot defeat them. Quota generals, that's who they are. Only Agironsi, the only Niger. I think to an extent, what's this man's name? The one that you thought he was Brigadier Ogundikwe. Well, he wasn't a general. Only agree you don't see. And that is why thank you very much for this very brilliant question anyway. That is the only man in the history of the Zoo military that went outside, fought a war and won, and came back as a general. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you are. Can you hear me? He cannot hear me. He cannot hear me. He cannot hear me. He has left. He has left. I'm sure that many more people are on the line trying the best they can to try and get in. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you are, if you may.
Yes, my leader. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
My name is Vincent Okechukwu. I am calling from Casablanca, Morocco.
Casablanca in Morocco. Please go ahead. The world is listening.
Yes, my leader. You know, history have it that when Jewish state want to restore their state, the unknown gunman kill all those who do not support in Jewish state. This is high time. I just want to make a contribution. This is high time we kill every garden shit that is not supporting ESN and IPOB in Biafra land, especially the Eastern governors and all those people, including Joey Bukwe and everybody. Those people that are talking rubbish against ESN and the IPOB must go down. We'll have to send them to God for judgment. That's what I want to contribute, my leader.
Thank you. I am not going to kill anybody, please. I want to make this very, very clear. I am not going to kill anybody, but my job is to ensure that we present them before God for judgment. I'm not going to judge anybody. I'm not going to execute anybody. It is for God to do all of that, not me. Thank you very much. Of course, I can understand your anger. My dear brother, I can understand your anger. We share the same anger. Look at the way the Fulanis are fighting to take over our land. And we are struggling to defend our land. And some of our people are supporting the Fulani to take over our land. Hey, very sad indeed. The caller on the line, can you hear me? Your name and where you are, please, if you may.
Good morning. This is Daniel. I'm calling from Belgium.
From Belgium. Thank you very much. The world is listening. Please go ahead.
Onyendu, I want to thank you for all you have said this morning and for your analysis. I have been a member of this IPOB since 2013. I'm still a member. Actually, I know all what you have explained about the thing that was said about...
You are very far from the microphone. Take it off speakerphone, please. Speak into your phone direct so it can come out here very well.
Sir.
Go ahead.
I said, actually, I have heard all what you have said this morning, and we know those people who are battling those lies, and we tell them that if anything happens to you, they are going to see how we are. We know their leader, and they said that their main effort is to bring IPOB down, and I have already told them that it's going to take them another 200 or more million years for them to bring IPOB down. That we are very strong and we are strong behind you. Whatever you want to do it. I don't have a daughter to give you or anything, but if your wife will allow, maybe you come and take my own also and join to your own. So do whatever you want to do. Thank you, sir.
I will not take your wife to join to my own. No. I have a very, very beautiful wife. I'm not going to take yours, please. Elohim gave yours. Chico Gabama gave you your wife. And she is going to, I don't want to use the word serve before the feminists will come after me. Two of you are going to have a very fruitful and enjoyable life together. They understand. Do you think the zoo is foolish? They see me when I travel. Do you think they don't see me when I travel and across international borders? Of course they know, because it's part of the information sharing protocol. Anytime I cross any border, they all know, but they also understand that should anything happen to me, all their children will be beheaded in the afternoon, 12 noon, everywhere they are in the world, the same day. The same hour, the same minute, all over the world. They know how crazy we are. Do you think they don't know? They know how crazy we are. And they won't try that rubbish. And they know it very, very, they cannot try it. And they know that hell is coming. Hey, oh, come on, Abia, hell is coming to the zoo. If you have not gotten your Somali visa, please go and apply for it, because you will need it. I assure you, you are going to need it. We are live and we are direct. Those claiming they will bring down, do you know what is IPOB bring? a movement of this magnitude down. Who is the bagger? You can try. Others have tried, they have failed, and they will continue to fail. The caller on the line, I have you live, and the whole world is listening. Give us your name and where you are.
Good morning,
Good morning to you.
Good morning. My name is Ifeanyi Onyejika, calling from Ghana.
From Ghana, thank you very much. Please go ahead, we are listening.
Sir, I'm happy to get you this morning. Sir, my question is that,
what is your question?
My question this morning is about this COVID-19 that Zoo want to give our people.
Yes.
What is your advice to our people back home? Because I don't trust Nigerians to give our people the COVID-19 vaccine. So what are you going to say about this, sir? Thank you, sir.
It's a very good question. What I have to say is that I leave that to the judgment of our people, but I'm not going to take it myself. I will not take it myself. When it comes to matters of personal health and people's life, how they lead it, it is not for us to tell them what to do. I will not take it. As somebody quite rightly asked, how come during the palliative time at the height of COVID-19 lockdown, you couldn't give people the palliative that they need? Now you're giving them vaccine. It doesn't make sense to me. Makes no sense. So I'm advising them. I'm not going to take it myself. The people can advise themselves on what to do. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Chinedu. Mazi Nnamdi. I'm calling from Cambodia.
From Cambodia. We are everywhere. That is what drives our enemies mad, that IPOB is everywhere, all over the world. Unbelievable. Please go ahead. We are listening. In Cambodia, or from Cambodia, I should say.
Mazi, I want to thank you for your efforts, what you have been doing for us. May Kabiama bless you.
You say, and bless you too.
Mazi, my question, I just want to ask you a question so that you can ask the zoo. My question is the question that I have for the zoo. I want you to ask the zoo people, because they don't learn. Ask them where their first lady, when their president took his own vaccination, because I saw other presidents taking their vaccination with their first lady beside them. So I don't know where went the woman, or does it mean that the Osibanjo is the new wife? I don't know. As they presented. So ask them that question. I let them answer you. So that is not questions. The truth is that the zoo they lack knowledge. Because why they say that they lack knowledge is that the money they are spending is in bribing the world leaders and the world media are enough for them to take care of the agitation that we are clamoring for.
Yes.
Because if they are using all those money to fix our roads, our railway, our seaport, and all those things, I don't think that would be need for Biafra. But they lack knowledge. They are still spending money. They are still giving them money. They should have said that they have failed. Their money will finish, and yet they will not achieve anything. So what is happening now is that, in our Igbo language, they say that when two people finish fighting, you will be hearing, yes.
Touch me, let me touch you.
So
touch me, let me touch you.
Touch me, let me touch you.
Because both of them are tired.
Happening now.
Yes.
So all these things you see them doing is just touch me, let me touch you. They have failed. They know that I have failed woefully. So now what I know that our able God, Ekukabiama, will disgrace them. All these our able leaders and all those governors that have been, they know that have failed. They cannot do anything. So my prayer for them is that they will reap what they sow. God will reward them. So we don't need to kill them. We don't need to hunt them. God will hunt them. God will judge them just like God
will judge them, not me. I won't judge them. We will present them before God, and God will pass judgment on them.
So that is my contribution, my leader. May God bless you.
And you too. Thank you very much. And I want to ask all the zoo people listening, or the zoo animals that are listening this morning, from wherever they may be, where is your so-called first lady? Where is she? People who cannot reason nor think properly. Nigerians, where is your so-called first lady? Where is she? Have you seen, I tweeted last night, somebody kindly compiled, and I think that's what we need to do for the coming week. People should go and compile 16 pictures of the different Buharis that they have given to them to say is their president. So I tweeted it yesterday. And I asked the question, so is number 8 on that picture? If you go to my Twitter handle, you will see that I tweeted 16 photographs of the person they claim is Buhari. And I asked them, is number 8 also Buhari? I don't know why, anyway, I don't want to go mad, trying to understand how idiotic black people are sometimes. But where is Aisha anyway? She's nowhere to be found. She's in Dubai having fun. Dubai built by other people, built by Arabs. People that suffer, people that love their country, they built Dubai. UAE made it great. All you can do as a useless nigger is to run there and go and enjoy without shame. That's where Aisha is. Is Dubai now the new Nigeria? Of course, who knows, it may be. After all, Kempinski Hotel in Dubai is owned by Atiku. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
I'm calling from Sapele, Delta State.
From Sapele? Sapele is in Biafra land. Please go ahead. We're listening.
My question that I want to ask is that there are some issues in Ondo State. When Biafra comes, will they join?
Yes, we are going to hold a referendum across the board. Everybody who identifies as a Biafran, anywhere the women tie 2-piece wrapper, we are going to conduct a referendum and they decide where they wish to belong. We are not going to coerce nor force anybody to join us. Our people in Ondo, we don't recognize all those stupid boundaries. I don't recognize the boundaries drawn by Britain, given to me, calling it Nigeria. In the same vein that I do not believe nor subscribe to the boundaries drawn up by Fulani Janjaweed via their Boundary Adjustment Commission, carving our people into different states. Ondo is a Yoruba state, and I want it to remain so. But there are my Ijaw brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers who are in Ondo, and they shouldn't be there. The same way that there are some of our people who are in Kogi and also in Benue. They are coming with us. We're not going to leave anyone behind. I cannot be championing and campaigning for Igbo people in Benue to be part of Biafra, and then I will leave Ijaw people in Ondo to be part of Oduduwa. It's not going to happen. We'll negotiate, we'll discuss with our Oduduwa brothers and sisters, our brethren from that part of the world, and say to them, these are our people. Let's go and ask them where they wish to belong. As simple as that. Our quest for Biafra is a democratic type of Biafra, where the people will have to willingly agree to join Biafra or not to join Biafra. So we go to Ondo and we ask them, do you want to be part of Biafra or not? Then they say yes or no. If they, of course, they'll say yes. And they'll come back home where they belong. That is what the Fulanis did. And there is a program I'm going to do. Anybody, if you go and buy data, go and do whatever you can. Go and buy a battery for your radio and listen to the broadcast I'm going to make on Sunday by the grace of the Most High. People will be shocked that Muslims are even a minority in Nigeria. Muslims are a minority in Nigeria. The majority of people living in the north are not Fulani or Hausa either. I'm going to shock with revelation, facts and figures from British census many, many years ago. We allow Fulani people to be drawing boundary for us, telling us who should be our brother and who shouldn't be, who should be our neighbor or who shouldn't be. That's something they did. They came to Imo State, they cut on Haji Ebema into two. Half is now Niger Delta, Rivers. The other half is in Igbo. All that nonsense must come to an end. They are coming with us. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. All at once your mother ties to. They asked me, where is the boundary? As I told you, my mother did you, where is the boundary of Biafra? How many piece wrapper does your mother tie? As simple as that. We are the only people that tie 2-piece wrapper all over the whole world. Wherever you see our women, they are unique, you will know. If we are not related by blood, why would they be tying 2-piece wrapper all the way from Igodomigoro to Bakassi? The caller on the line, can you hear me? I have a caller on the line. Sip, can you hear me?
Hello.
No, he is wasting too much time. You know, I want, if you're calling us, you need to be agile. Don't behave like a zoo person. Here we are agile because we are Biafrans. Be agile. Once we pick your call, you start speaking immediately. If you do not speak, your call will be terminated. That is who we are, and that is the way we roll. If you do not understand that, then there is a very big problem. We are live and direct this morning, and the whole world is listening. Too many calls are coming in, and of course, jamming the line as always. We even prefer it that way. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? And you speak immediately your name and where you are, if you may. The caller on the line is reconnecting. They say it's reconnecting. I don't know. It is not from this end. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, please. Your name and where you are, please. Can you hear me? No. They have wasted time. I don't believe that these are Biafrans, to be honest with you, because we don't. Once I pick your call, you start speaking immediately. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Hey, Mazi, good morning.
Good morning to you, my dear sister or mother, depending on your age. Where are you calling from?
Yeah. My name is Maada Chuku. I am calling from Caribbean.
Which part of the Caribbean? Are you in Jamaica? Are you in Barbados?
I am calling from St. Lucia.
From St. Lucia, thank you very much. Wada, we are listening. So in which case you're my sister. Please go ahead, we are listening. What do you have to say?
Yes. Okay, my question, what I'm saying is that the problem we have with our Igbo governors is not only Opus or them, all of them, they are all doing the same thing. And all of them are doing the same thing to us. So what we are doing, we're asking God to judge all of them, not only Opus or them. If you understand what I'm saying.
Of course I do. They are all in it together. They are all in it together. You are calling from St. Lucia. Do we have of course we have IPOB family in St. Lucia, is that correct?
We have IPOB in Jamaica.
In Jamaica?
And Trinidad, we are all together.
All together. We have presence in Jamaica. How about, you're coming from St. Lucia, is that correct?
Yes, remember it's an island, so we are not many here. So, but all the
it doesn't matter how many you are. All of you must have an IPOB family in St. Lucia. Even if it is yourself, your husband, your boyfriend, whoever, your child, you must start IPOB family in St. Lucia. And I want it to be independent of the rest of them. I know we have significant presence in the whole of the Caribbean, but I want a family in St. Lucia. And thank you very much for calling.
Marge, I'm not married. I'm a nun. So we are the sisters.
You're a sister. Your people are the people praying for us 24 hours a day. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, we are following everything. We're following everything.
Thank you very much, my dear sister, because what people don't understand is this. In every country doing well around the world, there are those praying 24 hours a day for them. Their job is just to pray. Nothing more, nothing less. That is what I want people to understand. So all our sisters, all our nuns praying for us. May Chukwukabiyama bless each and every one of you. And your prayers are working. I want you to understand that your prayers are working. All our sisters, those in the USA, those in Brazil, and now some of you in the Caribbean. I'm not sure I've spoken to any nun before, any sister from the Caribbean, but I've spoken to those of them from Brazil.
Yes, I've been calling you before.
You've been calling me before? Thank you very much for that. I can recall those in Brazil and those in the USA. And I thank you very much for calling and continue to pray for us. Continue to pray for the restoration of Biafra. And may Elohim guide, protect, and keep you now and always. He said, thank you very, very much. Our sister, a reverend sister who is praying for us. There are many of them all over the place, scattered all over the world, praying every blessed day. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you are.
Yeah, Mazi, good morning.
Good morning to you, please.
Good morning. I'm Nicholas Ononko from Germany.
From Germany. Please go ahead.
Yeah. My question is, does it mean that our president, because I don't want to call him Buhari because he's not Buhari, does it mean that we now selected somebody that is deaf and dumb as a president who cannot speak to the country, to the people that is leading?
Yes, because there is no president there, as you said. There is nobody there. What you have, if you look at the drift, both in terms of policy and in terms of implementation of those policies, you will see that there are many people who are in charge in Asarok, of which the coordinator is Ibrahim Gambari. There is no president in Nigeria. Everybody knows that. That is why he cannot speak. That is why he doesn't address, he can no longer have any chat with the press. That is why Nigeria is adrift. That is why you have so much insecurity, because nobody is in charge. What they have done is to try to use the vacuum created by the death of Buhari to try to advance an unbridled Fulani Janjaweed agenda of conquest and subjugation, which we are the first people to mount any credible resistance. From the beginning, only IPOB resisted them. And we are resisting until tomorrow. We will continue to resist them until tomorrow morning. What I'm trying to say to you, in fact, is there is no Buhari. I have staked everything on it. I have staked that idiot they call Tijani, saying they're working for AFP. Very soon we shall meet him in court. Because I want to prove to the world that Buhari is dead. Buhari is dead, long time ago, dead and buried. And they're deceiving everybody. The reason why the Nigerian media don't want to talk about it is because they are hoping that Tinubu will go in. That's all. So they'll start enjoying again. Please go ahead.
Yeah, because I could remember that first time he went to London for treatment. He spent 3 months. Somebody that was coming out of the flight, Breeze was even carrying him. They were supporting him. And all of a sudden, we have a Buhari that have never even fallen sick again.
That tells you. They tell it is money. You know, we black people, we are very funny the way we reason. This Yogi, may God have mercy upon us. They say it's money. He has got money. And I'm saying that this little boy you have now in Asarok is younger than Bill Gates. He looks younger than Bill Gates. Bill Gates is one of the richest men in the world. He wants to live forever, to kill everybody else and live forever. Why can't he use that same money? George Soros, that broke the Bank of England. He was the man that bet against the pound leaving the ERM. That was in 1992, if I'm not mistaken. He broke the bank. He made £5 billion profit betting against the pound to leave the ERM. He is one of the richest men in the world. He has more money than Nigeria put together. He will loan money to Nigeria. Why is he not as young as Buhari, or avail himself of the same treatment that made Buhari to look so young? I don't know what is wrong with the brain of Ndis Yochi. Black people, I don't know what is wrong with our brain that we cannot reason properly. Buhari is dead. Buhari is dead long time ago.
Actually, Nigerians, we have a lot of learned illiterates in Nigeria. They are all learned, but they are illiterates. I'm sorry to say it, as if they have never seen the 4 walls of a school before.
Very, very sad indeed. But it's not just that. Let me ask you, or let us ponder this very conundrum. Do you know Japan that is doing very well? You see Japan that is doing very, very well today.
Yes.
Most of the Japanese scientists read and studied in America. They went back to Japan. They replicated what they learned in America. And other Southeast Asian countries imitated what Japan did. And today they are all growing and doing very, very well. Now, you hear our people tell you, oh, I went to Yale, I went to Harvard, I went to Cambridge, I went to Oxford. But your mates that went to the same school as you did, look at their countries. But look at the zoo, where you claim you're learned. What you, as you said, what we have are learned illiterates.
Illiterates, yeah, honestly.
I met somebody from Liberia in London many, many years ago, in England, many years ago. We were in a restaurant in the evening eating, myself and my friends. And he came there and we were all introducing ourselves. And he said to us, I remember very vividly, he said, very clearly, I should say, anytime I meet any black person and you introduce yourself as a professor, I will slap you regardless of where you are. And I asked him why. He said he doesn't care if he goes to jail. He said anybody in this place now we are eating, if you say if you're a black person and you say you're a professor, I will come and I will slap you. And I asked him why. He said that we blacks have not grown to the stage of having a professor. Because those we had in the past, we are all useless. They did nothing.
Exactly.
You went to, you studied, look at Obasanjo. Obasanjo did engineering. Obasanjo did engineering. But ask Obasanjo now to build one bridge, linking his farm to the next village, he cannot build it. He's an engineer. Yes. In the military, eating money and serving neo-colonial interests. Very, very sad indeed. Thank you very much for your insightful call. Thank you very, very much, our dear brother. From Germany, our lines are open. A lot of people are sending in their requests, and we are accepting them. Once I accept your request, now you can call. If I accept your request, now you can place a call, please. Our lines are up. Too many calls are coming in as always, and jamming up the lines. We only have one line today with which to work with, and then you are free to try and call us. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you are.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. I can hear you very well. Please, your name and where you are.
I'm calling from Manchester.
From Manchester in England. Please go ahead.
United Kingdom. Yes, sir. Sir, I just want to bless you for what you are doing for our people. We are very grateful. You are the reason now that the Igbo man can be able to speak. And at this moment, I just want to ask you this question. Since these people have been adopting our people, mostly our young men in Igbo land, what are you going to do to stop these people from adopting them? Because when the war comes, we will not have our young men with us anymore because they must have been adopted secretly by this Nigerian military. And another thing I want to tell you is that you should never be discouraged. We know how hard it is to fight for a black man. I want to assure you that this same thing that is happening to you now happened to Moses when he was trying to take the children of Israel out of Egypt. Some people refused to go with him. Some people refused. Some said they prefer to stay back. So definitely what the governors are doing and those who are benefiting from the corruption of Nigerian government. So they are the ones who don't want us to have our freedom. Yesterday, I was lucky to I met a man where I work, an elderly man about 90 years. I asked him about the Biafran war. He told me everything about it. So I told him that, do you know that there's our youth now, they are fighting back, they are agitating back for our freedom. He said, yes, we should never give up, that we should continue, that definitely we will have Biafra. That he told me that during the war, why we lost the war was because of the starvation, because of the hunger the Nigerian government imposed on Biafrans. And he also told me that if we have held on, that we would have won the war. Then he also told me that if we eventually become a free nation, that we will enjoy. I'm telling you the truth. I just told my husband about this. I work in the hospital. So after speaking to him, I have a bit of relief knowing that surely Biafra will come.
Is that person a white man or a black man? This 90-year-old you spoke to, white or black?
He's a black man. He's a black man.
Is he a Biafran or a West Indian or from where? Where is he from?
He's from Abia State. He told me the story.
He's 90 years old. What is he still doing in England? 90 years.
His family is here. He's living with his family.
Okay. That is an example of what will happen to all of us if Biafra doesn't come. At the age of 90, when you should be in the village, blessing the young generation. They'll bring you hot drink and you bless them. You'll be abroad wearing blankets because it's very cold. That is what we are fighting. So he knows what he's talking about. We are going to make it possible for such people to come back to our land and bless our land. That's what we are fighting for. That was the reason why I asked you, how can a 90-year-old be in somebody else's land? Have you seen a 90-year-old white man anywhere in the zoo?
No.
Exactly.
Sir, and as well, our people has to reason, like
my very self, I've been, each time I remember that if we don't get this Biafra, our children will end up staying here. And if they continue to stay in abroad, definitely they are blacks. They will also treat them the way they are treating us now here. You can see what the royal family and Prince Harry's wife, what just came out of whatever they are doing. Even though we know that the press here is horrible, we know that then the secret of the asking about the color of the child and whatever they ask her. This is also what our children will go through in years to come. So please, we are really hungry for this freedom. We are really hungry so that my children can go home and live in my own. When I exist, they can live in Biafra land as Biafrans. And my children, I've started telling them everything about Biafra. I've told them the little they know you, and they are happy. They are willing to go home as soon as Biafra comes. So, Mazi, I am so grateful. Today, I am blessed to have spoken to a chosen one. You are indeed a chosen one. God has blessed you. You are uniting all Biafrans everywhere. I saw a Bini, a door or a Godo man. I spoke to him. He said, yes, he believes in Biafra and he's one of us. So our people are now reasoning. They are trying to come in time that they are all Biafrans. In fact, may God bless you. May God bless you. I am willing, whenever the time comes, I am willing to go home. I will keep my children here. I will go home and fight for Biafra. If I cannot handle the gun, I will volunteer myself to treat, or I will volunteer to be a cook for those who will handle the gun for them.
Thank you
very much. It's a promise I'm making.
I know,
Thank you.
and I welcome it. I welcome it. Thank you very, very much. I enjoyed your call, to be honest with you. Thank you very, very much, our dear sister. Thank you so much. We are live and we are direct. As I said before, our job is to present all these efulefus, all these criminal conspirators before Elohim in heaven. Then only him can judge them. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Mazi. Good morning from India.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Go ahead.
Mazi, my name is Mazi Okibaram Chedozie. I'm calling from Greater Noida, India. First of all, I want to say thank you for all you've been doing for us, for fighting so hard. And I happen to be a principal officer. So what I want to ask this morning is that, Mazi, when you started this program, I believe that it's quite tough. And I believe that if you can share a little bit about things that were driving you then, I believe that some principal officers that are lacking consistency in what we are doing today can be able to learn from there. As a principal officer, I understand to some extent how difficult it is to keep hold. So I don't know if you can be able to enlighten us from then that nobody believed in you, that you look like you're alone, that you're doing this. I want to understand what those things that are driving you so hard to be believing in Biafra and hoping that this is going to get to this height. And at the end of the day, it's going to be something that the whole world will love to participate in. And secondly, I want to make an announcement, Mazi. Biafrans here in India, we would love to have you speak to us in India. Because I understand that a lot of people, Biafrans here, are much interested in what we are doing. Even those that are not, they claim they are not Biafrans, they claim that they don't want to belong to IPOB. Today, I have the opportunity to speak up to a lot of them, and they are really turning to listen to what we're saying. So it's going to be a great one for you to be able to rise their spirit, and not only here in India, but across Asia. They really want to hear you speak to us. And as well, I want to tell you that here we have people, the way they behave and the way people other parts of the world behave is different. Here we have what I call the doubt issue. So even till now, some of them might not really understand. They might not really understand that whatever they put is going to IPOB directly. So for us to clear all that, I would love you to speak to Biafrans here in India, and also retrade that to other parts of Asia. That's my question and my contribution this morning. Thank you so much, Mazi, for giving me this time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I will answer your question. The very first question you asked. I would say that you asked me to explain to fellow principal officers what motivates, what drives the level of consistency is the promise of Elohim. I will take you back to what David Ben-Gurion said, the very first Prime Minister of Israel, what he said when they asked him at the floor of the United Nations what propels him to create, or should I say, to facilitate the coming of the state of Israel. He said it is the promise of God in the Holy Book. You call it the Bible, we call it the Torah. That was what David Ben-Gurion said. They asked him, why are you doing what you're doing? He said it is because he is standing on the promise of the Almighty Creator of the universe, that Israel must come. And on the same, should I say, pronouncement, I anchor my very firm belief in the coming of Biafra. I told you before that I read a book, or should I say a pamphlet, 1985 Ajoko lecture, delivered by Professor Donatusi Benwoga. I was traveling from Umuahia to Owerri. I was in a highest bus, and I was reading that very pamphlet. I'm not going to tell you how, of course, you can work out how old I was in 1985. I think I then barely turned between 17 and 18 years of age. I read that very pamphlet, and it had a very profound effect on me. In that very lecture that Professor Donatusi Benwoga delivered, in that man, in one paragraph, summarized what was happening to us as a people, because every 1 kilometer was a checkpoint. Extortion, harassment, intimidation, and from childhood, I never wanted anybody to be maltreated. I hate it. I hate injustice from childhood. And what we are doing today, what I'm doing today, is a manifestation of that very orientation that I had. You know, in my house, we used to have a lot of helpers, either people from my mother's side or people from my father's side. They will come to help, as house help, help, all the rest of it. I had one. He's now in Igbo, and I'm sure he's listening to this very day. His name is Emmanuel. Roughly about the same age as me, he came from my mother's side to help us in our house. We had a very huge household, so to help with the chores. We went to fetch water together. We ate from the same pot. We wear the same clothes. Sometimes we exchange clothes. During holiday time, I would go to his house for holidays. He was not serving me. I wasn't serving him, because I did not believe that another person's child should come to serve another person's child. I don't believe in that. Even at that very small early age, I believed in the equality of all men and women before God Almighty in heaven. I hated injustice. I read a lot of books. At the age of 12, I read George Orwell's Animal Farm, where some animals were bigger or greater than the others. I hated it. And at the age of 12 years old, I despised communism and socialism. At the age of 12, can you believe that? At the age of 12, I hated communism. Of course, I was at Government College Umuahia, where we were encouraged to read. And we read George Orwell's Animal Farm in class 2. Now, I want to tell you that you must have it in you to love your people. It is not something you are taught to do. You must have it inside you to love and to serve your people. If you are living in India and India is doing very well, people are living in Malaysia, living across the whole of Southeast Asia, and that those countries are doing very well. If you want to live there without replicating those things back home, that is making you to enjoy life in those places, that means you're an evil person you shouldn't serve. Allow me to repeat. If you travel to America, you travel to Europe, you see skyscrapers, you see wonderful roads, you see beautiful bridges and beautiful houses, you fail to bring it back, or you fail to think, how can I take these things back to someday? That means you are not cut out to serve your people. Because as a servant of your people, anywhere you see something good, you want to bring it back to your own people. Therefore, those who are called into service, are those who are naturally made and built for this very calling. But it is very, very, and some of you're saying is very difficult. Sometimes it's very hard. Our people can be very, very frustrating. Do not look at people. Look at the end goal. Always focus on the objective: freedom, freedom, freedom for everybody. When Biafra does come, of course it's going to come. When it does come eventually, let me tell you how I console myself sometimes. Look at the way we revere, we love, and we venerate Ujubu. And he did not get us Biafra. Look at the way we love and venerate Timothy Onwantu and all those that fought. Imagine the love we have for Colonel Achuzie and all the rest of them. The love we have for Mobosi and all the rest of them. Remember the love we have for the lives of Madiebo and all the rest of them. Did they get Biafra for us? The answer is no. Now imagine what will happen to your name when Biafra comes. Forever, you see the way that the Bible till today, have you forgotten about Moses, Joshua, Caleb? Have you forgotten them? You have not. These are people that fought and released Israel, the children of God, to inhabit the land that God gave to them. Till today, remember them. Let me tell you the truth, honestly, before heaven and this earth. Anybody who is part of this very movement, from the highest to the lowest, there will be a time when your grandchildren will go to school, or your great-grandchildren will go to, they will ask them, was your mom or dad part of IPOB? That will be all you will require in life to succeed. In other words, if you are serving IPOB, if you are in IPOB, you are preparing yourselves for immortality. This flesh may die, but your name will live forever and ever. Because we appreciate. Let me tell you, there is something our people don't know. Despite our stubbornness, our high-headedness, our sometimes very difficult way of understanding each other or doing things, our people are very, very appreciative of those that serve them in truth and in every honesty. That is who we are. Our people never forget those that serve them honestly and diligently. The same way we remember Mbakwe till today. Who is going to forget Dr. Michael Okpara? It's impossible. That is who we are. We never forget those that serve us in truth. We know that Okpara served us in truth and in every honesty. He built our land. We know that Mbakwe came, exactly what I told you before. What is it that Okpara and Mbakwe have in common? They went abroad, they saw good things abroad, and they brought it back home. Why do you think that Malaysia is developed? If you're a minister in Malaysia, you travel abroad, you didn't bring back any idea, they will sack you. That means your trip abroad is a waste. What did you learn? Bring it back here. Let us replicate it. What you're doing and other principal officers all over the world is building up what I call an identity of immortality. Forever and ever, your lineage, your children will be remembered and celebrated. Can you imagine if today somebody were to come to you to say, I'm from the lineage of Joshua, or from the lineage of Moses? I'm sure even if you're sitting there, you stand up to greet them. Something that money can never buy. When you remember all these things, then you redouble your effort, because you're not working for any man. You are working to fulfill the promise of the creator of the universe. The promise that God made, you are bringing it to life. What you're doing is beyond human understanding. What IPOB is doing, man cannot understand it. Because we are bringing down or calling down the kingdom of heaven upon this very earth, as Yeshua prayed. Let thy will be done on this earth as it is in heaven. Thank you very much. Let's take this call. The caller on the line, can you hear me? Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Yes, my supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the supreme leader of the indigenous people of Biafra.
Chukwuka Biama be with you because we've been doing a normal job to save the life of Biafra, not only the life of Biafrans, to save the black race from the shackles of Tamnadko Republic of the Sioux and in Africa as a whole. My name is still remain Mazi Nnamdi. I'm calling from the city of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Mazi, what I want to ask you right now, you have reiterated that, you have touched it from the last caller before me. But what I want to ask, because we have known there is a lot of benefit we are going to get, but Mazi, there's something confusing me, some of the Biafrans or some of the IPOB, those that claimed that they have joined IPOB. They don't attend the meeting. They are IPOB under oath. They came to meeting and took oath with IPOB. Some people come to the meeting from 2 years, 3 years, 6 months. They don't contribute to dime. They don't pay monthly dues. They don't pay any kind of levy you bring out or you brought out in IPOB. When you go talk to them private, they have now remind me, don't know what you are telling me. I am IPOB under oath. They have taken oath on IPOB. Therefore, I'm IPOB. You're not going to deprive me of my IPOB membership. These are the people, or he remind you that they have been on IPOB for 8 years ago, 2017, 2015. But for since more than 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, he have never even paid common dime to his monthly dues. We don't talk about other compulsory levy. So my question is, what is the position of these people? Because if you try to talk to them even private, they will now remind you that, mind you, I am IPOB. I'm under oath. I took the oath you took with me. And some people will be trying all their best, spend their time, attend meeting, paying the dues, pay all that, even do evangelism, do a lot of things to make sure that we awaken the consciousness of our people living in, especially I'm saying this in Malaysia precisely. They claim they are with you, with IPOB, but they are not doing anything in IPOB. Call it dues, call it attend the meeting. They don't do, but they say they are IPOB, they're under oath. So where are we going to place them? Or what is it going to happen with this sort of people? Because it's full in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, precisely. Thank you, Mazi, and Chukwuka Biama continue to be with you for what you are doing for Biafran. Thank you very much,
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. There are fair weather friends. There are those that will fall by the wayside. I remind you of the parable of the sower. As you scatter this seed, some will fall on fertile soil, some will fall on rocky grounds, some will fall on the sand, some may even fall on thorns. Only those that fell on fertile ground will be able to germinate and bear forth fruit. For those people shall be called Umu Chineke, the sons of God Almighty in heaven, and daughters of God. Not everybody that says, my father will enter heaven. And with that, I bring that to an end. You will understand what I'm talking about. And Elohim is in charge. And we are moving forward. Forget about them and continue to move. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Yes, Mazi, good afternoon from here. I'm calling from Malaysia.
From Malaysia as well. Please go ahead. We're listening. Please go ahead. Are you one of those that don't pay their dues in Malaysia? You don't attend meetings?
Not really, Mazi.
Okay.
I do. My name is just Ifeanyi.
Ifeanyi, turn down your system. I can hear your system. Turn it down, please. Turn your system down.
Okay, Mazi, I have.
Go ahead.
Mazi, my question is this. Concerning these people that say, the Ikure people that say they are not Igbo.
No, not Ikure people. No. Don't say that, please. The Ikure people did not say they're not Igbo. It is only Wike, those raised with money from abandoned property. It is guilty conscience that is pursuing them. Wike needed to deny his Igbo identity in order to serve his Fulani masters very, very well. Wike knows that he's an Igbo man, but he is ravaged by guilty conscience. Some of them, their fathers stole properties that didn't belong to them. And in our land, it's a taboo. In Igbo land, in Igbo culture, it is a taboo for you to steal landed property belonging to your brother, your cousin, or your sister. For them to shield themselves from the ravages of guilt, they said they are not Igbo. Of course, Ikwere is Igbo. Have you not seen the new state creation that they are touting all over the place, the Fulani Janjaweed? They want to create a state comprising of Igbo, of Ikwe people, as well as those of them they took from Omok, which are Igbo people, into a new state. Do not despair. No Ikwe person, no sensible Ikwe man said he is not Igbo. Let me tell you what has been happening in the zoo and what they do very cleverly. Before now, when the Yoruba media was against us in line with the Janjaweed, they magnify what idiots like we can say. What ordinary people are. Anytime you say, I am Ikwe, I'm Igbo, nobody will publish it. But if you say, I am Ikwe, I'm not Igbo, every paper will carry it. That is why it is always very good for us to read between the lines. Forget about the noise making of a few empty barrels, like Wike, and listen to the voice of reason of other well-meaning Ikwe sons and daughters. They know they're Igbo. Everybody knows this very clearly. Some of them claim they are from Igodomigodo. I don't dispute that. But Igodomigodo is also Igbo land. If it comes down.
You've answered I've answered the question, because I see no reason why someone that speaks Igbo, that tries to do everything like Igbo, will begin to deny his identity.
When you lose a war, it is always like that. When you lose a war, it's always like that. We fought a war of attrition for 3 years. The Fulani Janjaweed came and gave biscuit and chewing gum and tobacco to some people, and kai hot drink to some people, and say, one Nigeria, if you don't say you are one Nigeria, we'll kill you. I had a good brother of ours from Ika speak to me. And he told me, this is a so-called Delta or Delta Igbo. He told me that they're from Uri. His father was the traditional ruler of his people. Every year, Ezeli will come to their village and sprinkle clay on the ground. They're from Uri. That is the way it is. Till tomorrow morning, we know who we are. Those who claiming they are not Igbo, they are living in denial. And I go as far as saying that everybody is Igbo. If you're a Joe, if you're a Bibio, and I say it clearly, go back and interpret it however way you want it to be interpreted. The truth stands eternal. And I keep saying to them, are you doubting me? That all of us are Igbo. One that doubted me a few days ago, I said to him, go back to Google and Google the word Ibibio. After he Googled the word Ibibio, I asked him, please read to me what you can see. He said, related to Igbo. I asked him to Google Efik. He Googled Efik. What can you see? Efik and Ibibio are one, both are related to Igbo. I asked him to Google a job. He Googled a job. I asked him, read to me what you can see. He saw a job related to Igbo. I said to him, do you want us to continue? He said, no, he's seen enough. And that was it. That is the truth. We're all one people. That is why Insipidi came. That is why if you go to Abreba today, they speak the same language, or more or less, with the Bibio people. If you go to a Jaram, there is no difference between a Jaram and Arochukwu. It is the same thing. That is why Insipidi came from there. Insipidi is a uniting form of writing that binds the whole of Biafra together. If you go to places like Ihiala, if you go to Ihiala today, to Obulesiozo, do you know where they came from? They came from Igodomigodo land. Obulesiozo, you see today in Ihiala, their ancestral home is Igodomigodo. Why are we deceiving ourselves? As I said before, once your mother ties two-piece wrapper, you are one of us. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much for your call. Thank you. We are live and direct. We're educating. We're sensitizing. We're enlightening. You know, Janjaweed, they listen to this, our broadcast, and they go crazy. He is brainwashing them. He is doing this. I said simply, we are all Igbo people. Do you doubt me? Go to any village in Anambra right now, get a man that is up to 90 years old and above, and ask him about the war between the Idu people and the Oba, and he will tell you. Everything we say is backed up with facts and figures. That is why we can never fail. And our people are very intelligent. That's one thing about Biafran people. Once you make sense to them, they will understand it and they will follow you. I have a caller now on the line. This caller, give us your name and where you're calling from. We are live and we are direct and the world is listening.
Yeah. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, my name is Charles Obidike.
Charles Obidike. Yes, and where are you calling from? Yeah, Charles Obidike, where are you calling from?
Good morning, sir. The man that told you
we are live and direct. Please hold on a second. We are live on the air. Please, our barrister is calling me. We are broadcasting. We are live on the air. Yes. Please continue. My dear brother, continue.
Okay. So, I don't know. It pains me each time you come on air and start talking about the black man, the way they reason and all this. And I'm one of the black man, but I know I've never reasoned like that because even up to today, I am not an IPOB member. I'm not an IPOB member, but I have been following what you have been saying since 2014 till today. And no one has ever seemed to be lie. All of them are truth. And you made me to become, like as I've gone to university, more than the people that was my age mate. I'm 64 years of today. But all these things you are saying in this country and wherever you are, they are all truth. And nothing but the truth. And it pains me when anybody is making any argument concerning this, concerning that. I don't know, people will see truth, but the level we are in it today is because of our church in this country, Nigeria. They are the part of the problem. 80% of the problem, they are the one who caused it. Because in the Bible, when Elijah and Elisha and all of them were prophesying or doing the work of God, when you do something that is not good, even the king, they will go and tell him. Because I remember what happened in 2 Kings chapter 1, when a king fell from his house and then decided to go and ask the God of Ekron whether if he will live again. Elijah met his servant that he sent on the road to tell him that you should go back and tell the king, is it because there's no God in Israel? That is why you are going to ask the God of Ekron. And because of that, you will die. You will never get up from that bed. And when the man sent people to come and kill the Elijah, first 50% of people with their captain, they died. Fire consumed them. The second one, the same thing. The third one came and began to dialogue, beg, in other words. And when he followed them, the angel of God asked him to go and follow them. And when they get to that place, he told the king rightly that because you went to go and look other God that is not God, you will die. Then today, look at people we have in our church. Somebody like Redeem, who is calling us to go and come and go to heaven, knows that there is no Buhari. And he went out to rock. And he came back, and people were asking him, what did he see there? He said he was threatening not to talk. And up to today, he never tell anybody anything. And yet they are telling us to come and bear. I have said I will no longer go to church until when Biafra come, before we know what we are doing in this country. Because it is annoying and painful. All the people, Christians are killing in the north. Nobody is talking. No church is talking.
They are building auditorium. We are going to build 10,000 auditorium. Whereas Christians are being killed in the north. They say nothing. I don't blame them. I blame the idiots that go to these useless, idiotic churches and patronize them. I blame them. But in all fairness, there are some preachers that have come out recently to condemn what is happening. There are good ones amongst them. Let us not tie them with the same blood.
Just tell me somebody will look a factory closed and close the factory, then convert that factory to church and begin to pray for you to get work. Does that make any sense? You close the factory where people will be going to work.
Yes, convert it to church and then be praying.
If it is suffering to this length, people will get to understand. So I appreciate you. The only thing is that my God will continue to supply all your need according to his riches and glory by Christ Jesus. I pray that no evil shall befall you in all things of your life, with your family. You will actualize it and make us to be human being again in the mighty name of Jesus. That is my prayer for you this morning.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much, my dear brother. Everybody approach this issue. He's given us a very new perspective. There's somebody called Pastor Otis. I don't know if he's related to the principle of Otis that I was under in Government College Umuahia. I don't know. Otis or Otis. It must be. And I have to call him back. Let me call him back. Because Otis was a very good principal. He was a principal at Government College Umuahia. Let me see if I don't know if this is the son. I don't know if it is with Otis or Otis must be part and parcel of that glorious family. I love Otis immensely. Let me see if I can get him to speak to us, please. I want to ask him. He's a pastor. I want to ask him if he is related to Otis or Otis, one-time principal at Government College Umuahia. I want to ask him. I have elected to try to call him back to see if he can speak to us. I don't think so. The line is ringing, but I don't think he is not speaking up, not yet. I wanted to find out if he is. Yes, he's picked up now. The caller on the line, are you Pastor Otis or Otis? Is that correct?
Yes, I'm Pastor Otis. I'm from Abreba.
You are from Abreba. Yes. Are you related to the principal of Government College Umuahia, Otis or Otis?
No, I'm not related to, but it's closer to near to our village.
Okay, the same village, but not yours. Okay. It seems, are you a pilot? It seems you're flying an aircraft. There's a background noise where you are.
No, I am beside a metro. I'm going to work. But at the same time, that's what I'm trying to communicate with you this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, my name is Pastor Otis. It's the first time I introduce myself as a pastor because many people don't know I am a pastor. But I always say my name is Otis. But today I decided to introduce myself as a pastor ordained by the Biafran, and the pastor is in German today. His name is Pastor Sami Epo. He's living in Germany today. He's a Biafran too. And my question this morning is concerning the oil well that the Nigerian government are taking, and it seems that when the northern oligarchy have both the gold and the other mineral resources, they call it their personal own, but our own become a national case. How? When are we going to take back all our things? Because the world seems that they are not listening to what we are saying, or the campaign we have been sending to them letter from UN and other angle of the world, but they keep moved and they keep watching, looking for us to die until they will come to our rescue. I think is it the time that we're supposed to take back our things and pursue all the white people that are taking all control in our land? That the war that we are looking for, they can be able to get it. Or are we going to stay until they wipe all from the face of the earth? That's my question, my leader.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much for that. The truth of the matter is that the people giving the impetus to the Fulani Janjaweed to keep their gold and their diamond from Zamfara, but be drinking our own oil, is because of the people are the likes of Wike, Amechi, Hopus, and all the Fulefus. If they get together and say enough is enough, there will be no oil going to the north. They will try to bring down their army and will defeat them. Nigerian army cannot fight. They are very weak. Everybody knows that they can't fight. That is why they are begging foreign mercenaries. That's why they are begging Cameroon, they are begging Chad, they are begging Niger, poorest countries in the world, to come and help a giant of Africa to fight. This is one thing that people do not understand. They are being deceived by the war that happened. People think till today that that Nigeria fought a war against Biafra and defeated Biafra, that Gowon was an all-conquering general. It is a lie. It is a lie. Without the help, without Britain, Russia, or AU to an extent, Egypt, and the acquiescence of the USA, there is no way that Nigeria could have defeated Biafra. Not in a million years. This is the same army that cannot even defeat a ragtag band of terrorists in Boko Haram or bandits. And we should do away with fear. Fear is a debilitating disease. They are taking our oil and gas because we allowed ourselves to become divided and deceived. They appointed the Willings Commission to divide the so-called Niger Delta or carve them away from the wider eastern region. The same white man did not go to the north to create a minority commission for the so-called minorities in the north being yoked by Fulani. No. These are the things that people do not understand about this. The reason why they are angry with IPOB and trotting out all this propaganda against us and my good self is because they know we know their game and we have discovered their game plan. We now know how possible it was for an Ikwere man to say I'm not Ikwere, for somebody from Ijo to say, oh, I am not part of the East or part of Biafra. That was how they deceived Edwin Clark of Pandev. So they can take our oil. That was how they deceived Ken Sarawiwa. So they can go and take our oil. Today, Ogoni hasn't been cleaned up. Today, people are suffering in Ogoni land, whereas the Sultan of Sokoto owns nearly 20 oil wells in Biafra land. None of us owns an oil well. You need to understand what they have done to us and how we are going to untangle it. And it's a very simple process. By educating and enlightening our people to understand that we are one first and foremost. That is why the Fulanis, for Fulanis to subjugate you, they come with one north. They never divide the north. They will tell you we are one north, one. If you try to divide Fulani from Hausa, they will say no, we are one people. But they come to your land, then you allow them to divide you. That makes you a very big fool. Let's take this call. The caller on the line, can you hear me? This is Radio Biafra. We are live and direct. And bless you. Please turn your system down. I beg all of you, please turn down your system. Well, once I pick your call, turn off your system. Because what I'm going to say, the whole world is going to hear it. What you're saying, the whole world is also going to hear it. You don't need to hear your voice 2 times, do you? Please, go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Ohamadike, I have a question for you. How are you doing, my Lord?
Elohim is kind to us.
God bless you. Thank you. Sir, my question is this. I have 3 questions. One is this. What do you want to tell our Biafrans who see themselves serving in Nigerian police, in Onitsha, in Owerri, in Aba, in Ebonyi, killing and humiliating their brothers? A brother who is a keke napep driver, who put a flag of Biafra in his keke, our Nigeria, our Biafran brother who serves in the Nigerian police will detain him and kill him. Who put a bangle of Biafran flag or Biafran identity, a bangle or a necklace, something that gives you hope and joy, something that you look at, you summon courage, something that you look at the logo or the flag, you move on, irrespective of the suffering and the hardship, you move on. Our Biafran police, who is in Aba, who is in Owerri, who is in Oka, who is in Enugu, will kill, detain, and humiliate that person. That is my number 1 question. What message do you have for such an individual who is...
Is that their end is coming. Their end is also coming, and there will be no pity, there will be no mercy. We have all their names.
Who has a child who is suffering in the same dilapidated school, in the same abandoned area, in the same gutter that all of us are living, is there with us? That's my number 1 question. My number 2 is this. What message do you have? What message do you have for our so-called pastors who has refused to open their mouth and say the truth, who continue to deceive us to pray for Nigeria when they know that God will not answer that question? What message do you have for them? Now, my number 3 question is this. You have said it over and over again, and it is truth. All you have said is the truth. And we know you are saying the truth. And that is why we must follow you. We will continue to follow you. You said it, and it is written that the kingdom of God suffereth violent, and the violent will take it by force. My Lord, my question is this, to you is this. One time again in America, you told a lady, when you were having a meeting with them, you said, let them give us ammunition. The lady said that she did not hear you well. What did you say? You repeated that question. Now it has come. My question again is this. Are we going to fight? If we are going to fight, are there things that we need to have? Those who cannot fight, like a sword, or those who do not have the liver to withstand this, let them start running now. If you want to run to Cameroon so that you can start running, if you are in the north and you want to sacrifice yourself for there, you sacrifice. What is our fate? Because this thing will not come for free. We must fight. So that people will say, had I known we are going, or had it been we were told that we are going to fight, I would have dig a trench where I will hide with my family, or I would have run away. So is there any way people will be made to understand? Because even those in the north, when we keep telling them that this is not people of our tribe, these are not brothers. The people that you're staying in their place are not brothers, because they will kill you. We keep telling them, come back home. They refuse. I was living in the north. I lived in the north. I live in Nasarawa. I lived in Plateau. I lived in Kanu. I come back home. So are we going to fight? Because the lady who asked you that question, what did you say you need? I keep listening to that message, that family meeting you had with them. I keep listening to it over and over again. When she asked it, what did you say you did? Today, I think wherever that lady is, she will be going to, I think from Wodibo Congress anyway, she will be listening to that message where you told them what you need openly. And she refused. I don't know whether they honored that meeting that day or what. I accepted your request, but today they have brought that killing to our house. And it is real. It is true that they brought it.
Thank you very much.
Are killing us on daily basis.
I'm going to answer I will answer your question, my dear brother. Listen via your listening device. Let me answer your question. Number one, we are keeping tag of every police officer or personnel involved, especially Biafrans, in the molestation, in the facilitation of the abduction of our people. And I'm telling their families now that there will be no mercy. We are going to succeed. It's not a question of if. We are going to bring about the coming of Biafra. There is nothing any idiot can do about it. Nothing. And when that time comes, we are going to judge you very harshly. And if you're found guilty, you'll be hanged at the nearest tree closest to your father's compound. All of you in police uniform in our land, aiding Fulani Janjaweed, the same Fulani you're helping to abduct your own fellow blood relatives, are helping bandits and terrorists to kill your people in the north. I want you to understand all these useless, especially those in Imo State. Hope most of them will never ever be forgiven. It's something as for me goes for me as well. All of you claiming you I'm obeying order. Order came from above. When the time comes, God is my witness, you will be hanged in public for aiding and abetting Fulani Janjaweed advance, should I say, incursion into our land. As for the pastors, may God have mercy upon your wretched, idiotic souls. There are good pastors here, but all of you that have kept quiet, all of you keeping quiet, despite what is happening, Archbishop Desmond Tutu fought apartheid from the pulpit. All of you, some of you idiots, all it's about tithe and offering and building auditorium that will contain skeletons. I'm asking you, shameless people, call themselves the men of God, more or less like the men of Satan. None of you will see the kingdom of heaven, because you're all evil people, using the name of God to deceive, using the name of God to accumulate wealth, using the name of God to do heaven knows what, to prop up a decaying evil regime. You ask me, what do we need to fight? We need guns and we need bullets. Because let me make one thing very clear to all of you. Those of you who are so idiotic because you are raised in the zoo, you schooled in the zoo, all your thinking is about the Zoological Republic. You know nothing about Fulani Janjaweedism. What they are doing to you today is in their bone marrow, is in their DNA. They will never stop. The only thing that can stop Fulani is the sea, Atlantic Ocean. And they are coming. And as I said, I will do a program on Sunday that will shock all of you. To understand the mindset of the Fulani and the hatred they have for you. That is why any policeman or army man, you're a Biafran, you're helping them to arrest, to torture, to abduct. That is happening now in Imo State. Now, I'm saying it in all of you are now, it goes through one ear, comes out of the other. When things will happen in Imo, don't say I did not warn you. I'm telling you, this thing also the man is doing and all of you are quiet. When something will happen in Imo State, you know where, don't say I did not warn you. Because the rage is coming. All of you helping Fulani to conquer our land, all of you will suffer one, all of you will die one after the other. If you like being the police or in the army. Fulani came in as a minority and conquered Hausa, conquered everybody down, are coming down to our side. You cannot ask yourself a simple question. Why is it that Fulani can say they will remain in Yoruba land no matter what? Why are they not saying it about the East? Because of Eastern Security Network. We are there to protect you and your family and your lineage and your heritage. Yet you are so blind and idiotic you cannot see it. If you are in the North, you are a sacrificial lamb. And on that note, we bring today's proceedings to an end. I will try to reinstate this question and answer every Friday to answer the idiots and the rumor mongers and the liars and the deceivers and the conspirators. Guardian newspaper has published the same rubbish again. Anytime we are making waves, what they want to do is that they bribe Google and they trot out all these useless, concocted write-ups by DSS, and they populate the search. If you go to Google now, search for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Google, you will see them. What happened in the registration of IPOB in England has made us to think twice and all that rubbish. All lies. A country of lies. How can I support a country that lives on peddling lies and deceiving people? As I said before, if not for IPOB, some of you learned illiterates will be going about thinking Ojukwu declared war on Biafra, whereas all Ojukwu wanted was restructuring, the same restructuring you're asking for after 50 years. Now, who is the idiot? Now you see why I call you people zoo animals. Because he cannot reason properly. And that is why I maintain anybody who calls himself or herself a Nigerian, I can never regard you as a human being. Thank you all for listening. I'll be back on Sunday. Advertise it everywhere. Sunday evening, of course, I'll be live to the whole world. Put it out there. Advertise it. I am coming to educate. I am coming to tell you something that, from a perspective you never knew existed. And as soon as our app is out, please, our alternative to Facebook, make sure that you go into it as quickly as possible. We can no longer be defeated by silencing our voices as they did in 1967. This time around, we have options, and we are going to utilize it. In all that you do, you must pray for Eastern Security Network. Pray for them and support them. And as I said before, be very careful and mindful of what you're doing and where you're going to. Our enemies are there are some people who are within working for the zoo, Janjaweed government, but we must defeat all of them. All of them will be defeated. It doesn't matter their lies or their deception. Once you are in IPOB and you're compelled to leave IPOB, it means you've been possessed by the evil spirit. And you were not meant to be a freedom fighter in the first place. Because we remain whiter than white and whiter than snow. You will see it. Who can stop us? We that Elohim sent, who is the bagger that will stop us? Nobody can. They are faffing around all they like. You cannot stop us. Any Biafran you kill, there will be a revenge. And they know when we revenge how it is. There will be revenge, you know that very well, and it's coming. And more ferocious than before. Thank you all for listening. From me, from here, this very morning, it is good morning.
comes the time. The whole wide world will welcome the rising sun. Here comes the time for everyone to see that what will be, will be. This is the time for you and I to stand together as one. Yeah. They will know, they will know. The sun is rising from east to west, from north to south. Can't you see the sun is rising? Oh, you wave your flag and be proud of who you are. Because the sun is rising. We're shining so bright all over the world. We are the sun, we are rising. We spent our lives in pain and misery. Never gonna trade our freedom with any mystery. It's affecting our soul and it's killing us slow. With what we've been through, we are far from being good. But we are blessed by Chukwuka Biama. So we're never gonna give up. We're never gonna give up. There will be light in the end of a tunnel. It will shine so bright all time. The whole wide world will embrace us. Nobody can stop us, nobody can cage us, nobody can stand us, yeah. They will know, they will know. The sun is rising. From east to west, from north to south. Can't you see the sun is rising? Oh, you wave your flag and be proud of who you are. Because the sun is rising. We're shining so bright all over the world. We are the sun, we are rising. The windows and curtains, green lights be every building. When I think about how blessed we are, goosebumps all over my body. Sunrise to the clock strike. Black strength crossing gray stripes. Clashes upon clashes, many lives turn to ashes. When I ponder and reminisce, the actions I see malice. Blood on the ground, this is how we fly. Our beautiful flag, all around the world. Blood on the ground, this is how we fly. Our beautiful flag, all around the world. We go carry the cross together. We walk through to Zion. The stumble will rise. How the victory will start. Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know. From east to west, from north to south. Can't you see the sun is rising? I see wave your flag all over the world. Because the sun is rising.